Welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. This is our reaction to Denmark 1, England 1. Justin, how you doing, my friend?
You know what, Luke? It's the longest day of the year today, and that game felt like the longest game ever to watch.
Well,
utter dross.
I cannot believe what I've heard from Gareth Southgate after the game. The
listen
phrase is used is, it was an experiment and we don't have Calvin Phillips. This is Euro 2024. These international tournaments don't come around every week. We have meaningless friendlies, Nation League games. We have qualifiers against bang average teams. That is the time to experiment, not in a major tournament. And the same thing has happened today. The same structure, the same patterns. As always, England go 1-0 up. And as soon as that goal went in, Denmark were on that front foot and they were brilliant during that game. And this England side, there's no partnerships, no cohesion, there's no patterns of play, there's no confidence. I cannot believe what I'm watching. I really can't. And for us to go into this tournament, set up the way we are, as unbalanced as we are, the big thing for me as well, we don't press. We don't press. No one presses. We just sit back. We're so narrow. It was so easy for Denmark with their five at the back to get any type of foothold and any outball on us. We looked like a team with a bunch of individuals. Bellingham looked like he was running in quicksand. You know, he was non-existent. Foden, that's not working. And to say that we don't have a Calvin Phillips replacement, I'm sorry. He's not Pirlo. It's Calvin Phillips. And do you know why he said that? Do you know why he said that, Justin? I know why he said it. He said it because that was the best partnership that he's had as the manager. He got lucky with it. And the only thing he knows is that type of tactic. With Calvin Phillips, with a Declan Rice, with sitting in there, with players like Henderson. And that's the only success that he's managed to get, really, at a tournament where we've looked half decent and he's trying to clamber for that back. Look at this squad. Foden, Palmer, Bowen, Gordon, Kane, Watkins, Mainu.
Bellingham.
What we want Calvin Phillips.
We don't. We definitely don't.
Well, the manager.
Yeah, I know. It's a cop out. It's a massive cop out. That is. That's basically him trying to excuse the decision to stick with Trent Alexander-Arnold in a position that he's no good at. I'm sorry. I said it at the start of the tournament, and I had a bit of stick for saying it repeatedly. The man, he is a good footballer. He's a terrible defender, and he's an awful midfielder, in my opinion. And I'm probably going to get stick for saying that. That's my opinion. He's got a fantastic passing range, and he's really good at set plays. So let's just shoehorn him in anywhere we can get him in. I mean, Walker, I thought, was good at right back. He created the goal. He got forward, he nicked the ball, drove into the box. Bit of luck, obviously, with a couple of deflections. But because of his attacking threat, we scored a goal. And he's the best right back in England. He's a really, really good right back, so he doesn't get anywhere near right back. So what does he have to do? He has to, because Southgate gets called out all the time for having no tactics, what he does is piggybacks off a Klopp idea that he's got this hybrid idea of how to get the best out of Trent Alexander-Arnold. And he thinks, oh, great, I'll just play him in centre midfield. Then I need another centre midfielder. But you've got centre midfielders. Kobe Mainu, when he made his debut for England, I sat up and took notice. I thought, wow, he's a really good player, he is. He could do a really good job for us in centre midfield. Nowhere near. You know, the first substitutions for the first two games, and I was down at Chasetown tonight watching it with Daz Hales off WM and Gary Thompson, and I turned to Daz Hales and I said to him, about 25 minutes in, first substitution tonight, he's taking Trent Alexander-Arnold off and he's putting Conor Gallagher on because we're getting overrun in midfield. But I'll back everything you say. Everything you say is 100% correct. 8 years he has been England manager for. And all I hear is he doesn't have long with these players. He has had 8 years, 4 major tournaments to bed in a way of playing, a style that whoever comes into this squad, whoever he picks, the nucleus is generally, you don't pick us one squad for one game and then throw them all out and have a brand new squad for the next game. You have an evolution. So most 90% of most England squads, game on game, are the same players. So they should know after 8 years exactly what the England manager wants out of them. How do we set up? How do we get the best out of them? What happens if we go behind? What happens if we go down to 10 men? What happens if we're 2-0 up and we need to, sit back? All these things should be massively ingrained in all of these players at a major tournament. Now, I didn't listen to his post-match press conference because, quite frankly, I've had enough of him. I've totally haven't had enough of Gareth Southgate as England manager. I had enough 7 years ago. I don't know about now. So for him to actually have come out and said those words that he's experimenting in the second group game, it blows my mind. Now, if we'd have won the first 2, which we should have done, go and experiment in the third. You've qualified. Play a few of the fringe players. Try something a bit different. Don't do it in the second game when it's blatantly not working. I've had enough. I've drawn a line under him now.
It's absolutely awful, and
Embarrassing.
I get like annoyed and passionate because I want this country to win a trophy. I want us to be able to play really well and win these Euros, and that's why I get so passionate. Just like I get passionate about the Villa, and whatever Southgate does, none of it ever makes any sense to me. And what you'll get now is you'll get the odd flutter of people saying, look what he's done to the camp. Look what he's done. It's not a holiday camp. They are not there to enjoy themselves. They are fundamentally there to win a trophy and to win things with England. And now I think this is starting to backfire on him because it's a happy camp and everybody's sort of like happy clappers to be there. I think there's no intensity. There's no drive. There's no inner belief. There's no aggression. There's no desire because it's just we're just happy to be there. We're happy to get called up. We're happy to be at the tournament. And it's just a nice place to be. And it's not ruthless enough. And now I think it's starting to backfire massively. We'll go on to some of the other points that I don't agree with Southgate. Before the tournament started, he played Kobbie Mainoo in that one game that you mentioned, and he looked absolutely fantastic. Ever since, he played Kobbie Mainoo in midfield. So you're starting to think, okay, Mainoo's going to start the first game at the Euros. Nowhere to be seen. What was the point? He should have been playing the players that were going to play in this tournament together, not put Mainoo in and give Wharton half a game. Where's Wharton? Nowhere to be seen. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the players that come on, the players that come on though, right, Justin, we're all saying we want Watkins on, we want Eze on, we bring Bowen on, triple substitution, but they just look like they don't know what they're doing. It's not like those players are coming on and it's like it's a revolution of the way that we're playing. It's just a bunch of individuals going out on that pitch and just playing their game. If there's a nice little easy pass for them to pass to, they'll play that little bit of a pass. But apart from that, it's so frustrating.
It is. I thought Watkins for about 5 or 6 minutes when he came on did have a bit of an impact because what he did that Harry Kane he doesn't look fit. Kane, he doesn't look fit to me. I know he come off the back of an injury, but you've got these 3 attacking players in behind him. Really good players. And for periods in that second half, where's Harry Kane picking the ball up? Edge of his own box again. Stop going so deep. He did it for Spurs and it frustrated the hell out of me. It's like he gets the freedom of the pitch because he's England captain. He scored all these goals. Brilliant, fantastic. You've got the great record with England. You stay up front. And what did Watkins do? The first 5 minutes he come on, he played off the back of the last defender. Bellingham gets the ball, I think within 2 minutes. Watkins has made a really good run. Bellingham finds him. bloody hell, that's a way of playing, isn't it? That's a light bulb moment, isn't it? But after that, once again, we retreat into our shells again. Stop playing balls into them. Stop being proactive and progressive. And I said it at the start of this tournament. My team for the first game was Bellingham next to Rice. That's not because I want Bellingham playing as a defensive midfielder. Far from it. He can play anywhere. We don't need two defensive midfielders. We need two very good football IQ midfielders. One that can sit, Rice, and one Bellingham that can get forward. But we know he likes to be involved in everything, Bellingham. He can get forward and score a goal. He can also get trapped back and make a latch-dish tackle. So that then frees up three players in behind, whoever it is up front. And I am pushing now for Ollie Watkins to start in this third game. I'll say this now. And then you play Eze, Anthony Gordon, brilliant season. You got, I thought Saka did okay tonight, to be fair to him. Cole Palmer hasn't had a minute in this tournament yet. He's come off the back of one of the most phenomenal seasons a midfielders had in Premier League for years. An English midfielder scoring 20-odd goals from midfield, and he doesn't get a sniff.
It's a joke.
Got to, for an England manager, for Southgate to make all of these players that we have named look as poor as they are, takes some doing. Honestly, it does. It takes some doing.
There was a period in the first half, and we did the watch along, and we were saying that there was a period where we were keeping possession and we were being quite sort of safe with the ball. And the minute Foden came inside and started popping the balls off a little bit and getting more involved and running off, and he had that chance, we started to look a little bit better. Right, we got the goal, fantastic. We got the goal, and look. I want everybody to look at the momentum bar from the minute we got the goal. Right, here we go. Right, look at the momentum bar the minute we got the goal.
It tells you everything you need to know.
What happened? What's happening?
Just stop playing. Just stop playing.
It's ridiculous.
I am convinced it is a tactic, and it's the most bizarre tactic you could ever think. Get ahead and stop playing.
Or do you think it's just ingrained in them now? Do you think it's a habit?
Because I don't know. I mean, the two games that grate on me more than any was Croatia when we got knocked out in the semi-final, and then Italy when we lost in the final. Both of them games we went ahead in, and both of them games, the minute I bet if you could find the momentum bars in them games, you would be identical to that. The minute we went ahead, shut up shop, let's defend the game, regardless of when you score the goal. I mean, in the Italian game at Wembley, at home, in a major tournament, in a final, we score early at Wembley with 90,000 passionate England fans, shut up shop for 75, 80 minutes. You just, we're not even talking tactical genius managers here. We're talking the Danish manager and the Serbian manager that have outthought him in 2 games.
Do you know what, though? Whatever way you want to look at this game, whatever metric I'm going to show you now, right? We're our second best, right? So let's get into the metrics and the numbers of what's happened in this game then, right? So possession, Denmark, 51% and England, 49%. We had 12 shots. They had 16. We had 2 corners. They had 4. They made 546 passes. We made 528. They won more tackles than us. More metrics if you want to have a look at. We can go through touches in penalty area. Denmark had 22. We had 11. More accurate passes. They've had more accuracy off crosses. It's just grim. More aerial duels won. We've won more ground duels. It's grim. It's grim.
I looked at that Danish team and I looked at the England team at the start of the game and I thought, right, it had the feel of a Premier League game, didn't it? A lot of players that play for Denmark play, and have played in the Premier League. And I felt, okay, this feels like the quality of the players we've got. It feels like a top 2 Premier League team playing against a mid-table Premier League team. That's how it felt, like underdogs. And what we should have done was put them to the sword. We should have dominated the game, dominated possession, dominated chances. backed them right up to the edge of their box for long periods. They should have been defending for their lives. You know, I'm not crying out for 7-8-0 England wins every week in, week out, game in, game out. I'm not, and I hate being negative. Everybody knows that watches us regularly. We're both very, very positive, and I
Yeah,
feel when it brings something out of me when I watch England under
yeah.
Southgate, a side that I do not like. I would love
Do you
nothing
know
more to
why?
come on here and say, "Oh look, what a brilliant win that was! What a great tactical genius he is." But that's sorry, just to finish my point. That's what we should. That's how this game should have gone for me. And if we'd have won it 1-0, playing that way with 70% possession, 16 chances, they had 2 or 3. Great. I don't mind winning 1-0, but I do mind when we're getting pumped by pretty average international sides,
Mhm.
and that's what
Yeah,
Denmark and Serbia are.
yeah.
They're not great shakes.
Yeah, I said earlier that there's different levels of international teams. You'll probably have your 1 to 8, who are the elite teams in the world, and then you'll have like 8 to 20 odd that are like these middle of the road teams like Denmark and put Croatia in there maybe, like those types of teams. And just the I think the reason why we get annoyed is because we've seen in the past these generational teams of generational talent. You look at Belgium. Look at Belgium's team that they've had. They've had that golden generation, and I would say we've got a pretty much a golden generation here. We've got some unbelievable footballers:
Yeah,
Kane, Bellingham, Foden, Saka, Rice. They are unbelievable footballers,
they
and
are for the club sides.
yeah, but the more the tournaments go on, the older those players get, and it's just frustrating. And I look at this group now. You know what we should have been saying is, okay, we can bring some new players in now to sort of like, I don't know, rest them if we've done fantastically well or whatever. But now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, hold on a minute. If we lose to Slovenia and Denmark beat Serbia, we're third.
Yeah, we should still go through with the new formation, but it's no consolation to that. It's no consolation. It's. I'd love to say I'm really surprised at how we're doing, but I'm not. I'm not at all. It's exactly what I expected from England. It is exactly what I expected from Southgate, and we've still got to play maybe Germany, Portugal, Italy, Spain. All these really, really, yeah, yeah. There's just so many good sides in this tournament that I've watched and gone, they're good, they're good, they're good. Turkey have been good. There's, some of the middle-rated nations are looking really good. They're looking really well
Romania.
drilled. Yeah, they're looking really well drilled,
If we
making
played
the best out of
Romania,
the players they've got.
yeah,
I just don't know where we go from here because I think he was the fans booed him off at the end. Now, when England away fans at a major tournament are booing you off, you've lost it. I
yeah,
fully look. Let's be realistic. We're not going to win the tournament unless a miracle happens. Now,
no,
we will qualify from the group. We can still win knockout games. I've still, and that's not because of Southgate. That's in spite of Southgate because we've got match winners in our team.
mm,
I am heavily into watching the cricket, as a lot of people know on here, and we're currently in a T20 World Cup in the middle of it. We've just got through to the latter stages, and we were pretty poor in the first few rounds of that. And now we've just hit a very important stage of the tournament in the Super Eights, and we played one of the better teams in West Indies, and we did a job on them, beat them because we've got some really good players. Now, England could do that, as the football team could do that, because if Bellingham, Kane, Saka, and all these click on a game, and it just suddenly happens, we could easily demolish someone 3-4-0. That's not because of Southgate. That's because we've
no,
got some really good players, and it happened to be our night. So don't let a good win that if it does happen, that's all. I won't let that cloud my judgment of what Southgate as a whole has done for England. And again, people might shout at me and say, "Oh, you're over the top. You've been hyper negative," because you look at his record and the statistics up there. his record is third best England manager win percentage. But you look at the goddamn players he's had. I could be the third best England manager.
Come on. Yeah, but look at the teams that you play. Like how many times you play top level opposition? Few and far between.
And invariably lose. I mean, let's not forget, we lost to Iceland at home on the eve of this tournament. Which was and ever since he's decided to go for this bloody Trent Alexander-Arnold in the middle of the park.
But do you know awful. Even that, right? The thing that I don't get about that, the thing that I don't get about that is when he does that for Liverpool, he's still the right back.
Exactly. He's
the right back that goes into midfield. He's not a midfielder. He doesn't play central midfield for Liverpool. He's the right back that inverts. Now, why he inverts
for England?
Why he inverts, right? It's because it creates you with an extra player further forward. So you've got more of a creative, free-flowing system that allows you to be more dynamic going forward. Yeah. But what we're doing is we're still just playing 4-3-3.
Because you can't play him at right back for England because Kyle Walker is 10 times the right back he is as a defender. So you can't play him as a right back because he. And I tell you something else that's annoying me. We were sold the story that Luke Shaw would be fit for the second game of this tournament.
No chance.
No, we were sold that. We were told that's the reason he's going because he's the only left back, and we are confident that he'll be fit for this second game and then going forward. He hasn't played tonight, and he probably won't play the next game now. And for me, one of the biggest mistakes Southgate's made is not taking Jack Grealish.
Yeah,
I'll stand by that. He in that last friendly, when he came on, he looked, I'm not going to say back to his best, but he looked really confident. You could tell he was really comfortable in the England shirt. And he came on, he made a difference. He fronted players up. He retained the ball really well. And he's got, we know the qualities of Jack Grealish. And I think most England squad were very surprised when he didn't go. And I think he's made a huge mistake not taking Jack Grealish this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Shaw is not going to play in this tournament.
No, should not have gone.
He's not match fit. He's not match sharp. You cannot be putting a player in, right? So say, for example, he might get 20 minutes against the next team. You can't put him in the round of 16 in a high-level competitive game.
Against a good team.
It's ridiculous. So, I'm bitterly frustrated with the way that we're doing it because I've got this on here now. I've got Spain. I'm watching Spain knock this about, and they are so tactically drilled. It's like a computer game. Yeah, like it's just ping, 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 ping. That it's fluid. There's movement, and I'm watching England. I'm not seeing this fluid type of football. Winning it back here, second balls, hungry. Everybody knows where they're going. It's terrible for like the English fans that we're watching our team like this because it's just not good enough. Anyway, right, we'll be back for one of these reactions after the next one. And we'll see if our mood has improved somewhat. So everybody, hopefully we've been a bit of therapy for you all. And smash a like. Up the England. More importantly, up the Villa.
Up the Ollie Watkins.
Up the Watkins. Up Conser on the bench as well. Keep your feet up.
Yeah, come on. I tell you what, I hope they're down to a lot of the bloody managers are thinking, Christ, what I've got to coach these players back into some kind of form once they come back from England.
It's like that thing, isn't it? Men in Black. Emery's going to be at Bodymore Heath and he's going to have that stick and he's going to
wipe the memory. Wipe the last 3 weeks.
Do not remember anything that you have heard in the last 6 weeks. Go on holiday.
Pictures of Southgate around the training ground. Anything this man has said, ignore.
Right, see you later, everyone.